Well, I think yes, we are doing at the
Okay, okay.
corporate level. I think our chairman is doing all those, whatever is possible. But then we have to follow through the code of courts and all those things. If we have made a lot of inroads here in the locality and the people now believe that they were taken for a ride, and the perception has completely changed now. So they're not talking the pollution story at all. So more on employment and loss of jobs and the economy going down, etc., which is taking center stage. But with the Tamil Nadu elections just next month, I think it'll be
Hmm.
delayed another 1 or 2 months before we actually get to see the plant open. See, if you see countries like Australia and Canada, they've got a lot of mineral resources, and their economy is surviving on that. Uh, I don't know many people know, but then India also has got a lot of money, mineral resources which are not explored. The common belief is that mining means pollution, mining means degradation of environment, etc., etc. Now, how is Australia and Canada managing this? Very much advanced, much developed country, keeping environment concerns in mind, and also at the same time developing the economy. And why can't India do that? I mean, development and environmental concerns go together. One cannot be at the cost of the other. So the government has realized this, and and there's a huge amount of employment, revenues generation, there is a huge amount of job creation in this sector. And we have all the natural resources. We have got gold, silver, we have got copper, we have got copper is unexplored. Zinc. I was in zinc earlier. It was on zinc earlier with another company. It was a government concern 20 years back.
Hmm.
And the government had done no exploration. And when our chairman went to the MD to take over the plant, he was told, "You're making a big mistake, Mr. Agarwal. This company does not have reserves beyond 5 years."
Oh, okay.
Today at 2021, it was taken over, I
Hmm.
think, 2002 or 2003. We are
Hmm.
sitting at 30 years of reserve.
Wow.
And we have gone up, I think, 20 times to what they were producing at that point in time. So there is an efficiency factor to it. You have to go into this route. Government has realized that, and therefore a lot of coal blocks have been auctioned. In fact, we don't need
Hmm.
to buy any coal into the country. We have enough coal in our Dhanbad and the Talcher sector to cater to
Yeah.
the all coal requirement, thermal coal requirement. I'm not talking about metallurgical coal. I think thermal
Hmm.
coal requirement fully we can meet within India. We need not import anything. Yes, we need
Right.
to import the metallurgical coal. We don't have that. That's fine for the steel
Hmm.
industry. But thermal coal, no. We have enough. We have enough zinc. We have enough silver.
Hmm.
In the zinc plant, we are producing about, I think this year, we're producing 700 tons of silver. Not many
Wow.
people know that. We have gold reserves. But so government has looked at this and they are opening up. There are a lot of policy changes at that level. But
Hmm.
I think we need the support of people also and the right messaging through, I would say, the media and the right people to say that mining is possible. Mining is possible without affecting the environment, like it is being done in other countries. Any industry for that matter, even my industry or any industry. I'll tell you one example I'll give you from my industry since we're talking about copper. When we started the plant in 1995, 96, the norms at that point, because we have a lot of sulfur, the sulfur comes along with the copper, so it's a lot of sulfur there. So the norm at that point was 4 kg of 4 kg of sulfuric acid can be emitted per ton of copper produced. That was the norm, and we met that. That was reduced to 2 kg sometime in, I think, early 2000s.
Hmm.
In the 2010 or 11 CTO that we got, it was brought down to 1 kg. We are
Right.
at zero point 0.5. How did we do that? Because there's technology to support us. So you make the norms more and more stringent. You keep it, you bring it to zero point 0.5, bring it to whatever. Keep the norms stringent for any industry, not mine, any industry, for mining, for anything, and ensure that the company follows it. And today, development technology is supporting this. More and more people are working on this to make sure that there are bag houses, there are filter processes, there are RO systems, MEEs, MVRs to make sure that you meet all the norms which is acceptable internationally. And this will become more and more stringent as we go along, which is the right thing to do. You had cars earlier emitting any amount of gases, right? You have the Euro 3, 4, 5, 6. It keeps on improving, right? And so the government is phasing out the old cars and saying that you meet those new norms. Similarly for industry, it happens. I mean, I would say, uh, see, any government for that matter, whether state or center, They want development. They want revenues. They want people to be, employed, the economy to grow, etc. Now they have to set the right standards, and we have good agencies in the country. We have the CPCBs, we have MOEFs who set the right tone. Like for instance, any industry to set up today has to have 33% of green cover. So why is that? That is the environment requirement, and every industry is following it. So the governments per se have those agencies in place, and which can be implemented. But the fact is that they have to be strong enough to implement those. And there, the will of the government comes into place. The moment it found a little weakened, you have all these NGOs coming to the fray. They are all over in Goa, they are in Orissa. They found Tamil Nadu a very safe place. They were against Kundakulam. At that time, we had a strong CM. We had a strong president who came down and said, no, this plant is safe, it should run. And so we started the Kundakulam plant. Otherwise, the same NGOs who were against us were protesting against Kundakulam plant, nuclear plant. Today, it's operating. You go to UP, you have a strong CM there. So he says, no, this is the way to do it. It happens. So if the government wills it, it will happen. And the moment they found a slight weak, then you get all these NGOs coming to the fray and creating confusion. You see in Gujarat, no protest. It happens because the people are very enterprising. They'll set norms. Birla Copper is operating there for the last so many years. Same plant as ours. They also emitting the same amount as ours. It's running peacefully. No protest there anywhere. So their slag is being used for road making. The same copper slag they also make, right? They use it for making roads. In fact, we made roads here also in our plant, inside the plant, as a case study. So in the same country, you have got different states with different thought process. In fact, we are going to set up a new plant, zinc smelter in Gujarat.